Okay. Died again. Kim, I said I'm sane, and I am sane. I'm completely sane. Sane, sober, not on anything but heart meds at this point. Um, you know, drugs other than prescribed ones have never been my issue. I take them or leave them. It doesn't matter. But it's just neither here nor there. The Xanax thing was a manufactured addiction because of the SSRI they put me on. But what was I had to charge this. I was talking about the about, about Dave calling for a wellness check and waking me up from a deep sleep, Seroquel-induced sleep that I was in after finally coming down from the fucking ceiling after dealing with the fact that Nancy just, I think she had just done the, I've never disrespect, I am not now, nor have I ever disrespected you, or however she put it. But yeah, so Mr. Compassion there, Mr. I need my dog at work because, on this. What the fuck ever, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's all a fucking lie. Dave engineers his little world, and that's what he does. Him and Amy, they're little world builders. They do things. They volunteer so that they can be in control of what's going on. So that they can, whatever. That's his choice. He can live his life like that, but not when you fuck with me. There's a big difference. So yeah, I found out a year later that Mr. Need to have my dog for compassion, at work, whatever, was ignoring every single reach out to me and ignoring any, for all intents and purposes, ignoring. I mean, he was giving lip service to it. I've already gone over that stuff. How about you, Kim? If you guys thought I was mentally ill, or you thought, well, and I was, I mean, I was fucked up mainly on the bipolar meds back then. I was still on them for some period of that time. I don't even remember. No, I was off them by then, but I was still coming off that crazy ass relationship that I was in, dealing with that in my head, trying to find a job, and COVID coming on. So I had all that stuff, and I had her bringing anger to me. You know what I mean? Like, the get along to go along to get along thing. I draw the line at you're bringing your shit to me, and I can't do anything about this shit, and it's just anger, and it's scapegoats, and it's lies, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, well, I didn't try pushing back too hard on her, and I mean, unless she said something really, really stupid that couldn't possibly be true, and I deal with it just like that. That's so dumb on its face. I'm not even like if the liberals get in, if the crooked Democrat communists get in, socialists or whatever she was calling them, they're that Green New Deal, which I didn't know what it was, but I kind of like put two and two together in my head. That's not too hard. I didn't look into it at the time, but New Deal, okay, and green, okay, we got to do the environment so we don't destroy the planet for our grandkids. That's what she should be worried about. That kind of shit. Not worried about working to deal with it. But no, instead she's on the other side and she's like, whatever. Let's get a bigger SUV and drive around. But she was talking about the liberals get in, they're gonna destroy all our buildings and rebuild them with few, with like almost new windows to be more energy efficient. That is so fucking stupid. That statement. Like, she's bringing that anger to me. I was in a car. I dropped somebody off up at Jacksonville. I taken somebody home who came for the weekend. I was driving home, and I finally dealt with, I finally, shut her down on that one, but I didn't shut her down on in the way that it needed to be shut down, but it wouldn't work anyway because she's a narcissist. The fact that the people trying to save the planet, the green people, would destroy existing buildings of wood, cement, steel, aluminum, glass, all of which are the big things in our country, in the world, that take energy. Cement, aluminum, steel, glass, and then of course wood, chopping down trees and stuff like that. But there's not a lot of wood in big buildings like I think she was talking about. The fact the supposed green people are going to do this, and she thought that, and she put this much thought into it. She didn't. It's a soundbite, but it's coming to me as her anger. The fact that came to me, and you would have not needed to build like nuke plants, and you would have needed a nuke plant on every fucking corner. You would have been needed to strip mine all over the place. You would have needed the vehicles to do strip mining. You would have needed the vehicles to transport all this stuff. You would have needed a gazillion of the Latino peoples you're trying to kick out of the country to help us build all these things, destroy and build all these things. The amount, the trains that you would need, the amount of energy alone and infrastructure that it would take to do what she's talking about while people are trying to save the planet, it was just, I mean, I didn't know what this, that was kind of like why did I see pens in her? Well, because that's what they got to use pens to mark things if there's an issue with the ballot. She put that much in, but I was dealing with all that shit. All the anger, the get along to go along. I was having to shut down it little, just like it wasn't even worth describing to her in any detail because she was all bent on being angry about something. But what didn't work, Kim, get along to go along. It's like, oh yeah, you think the moon landing was a hoax? Whatever. JFK said, I don't know. I know the moon landing wasn't a hoax. But, that's so easy to knock down and fun. But, like, I never got into anything like that. Get along, okay, whatever. I think you're a dumbass, but, whatever. I never said that part. Sometimes I talked about her being not smart to her face. But that was her thing. I mean, I felt like a girl. She's not smart. But where's my compassion? I couldn't I was trying to shut her down at that level. Like, I don't care if you're thinking this crazy shit. You know what I mean? You want to be angry? Don't bring it to me. Stop bringing it to me. You think that worked? You think that worked for like the year before I started really like hounding Dave? Like, I need some engagement here. Backed into like my losing my job and you need to be getting all that money those blacks and illegal here get. I don't know where she thinks the pot of gold is, but eventually I was like, I've been to the offices. I've been there. I've gone down the list of available things with them, and there's nothing I qualify for. And by the way, you need to have Social Security card, Social Security number for this stuff. So the illegals aren't getting it. Well, yes, they are. If there's a giant pot of gold out there, I eventually told her, please find it and tell me, because I could use it way back then. If there's a giant pot of gold, do you think that ever happened? No, she just brings anger at me, and that's it. I needed to sue Corning. No, they kept me in that condition longer than I would have kept me, and they gave me the severance and all. It was that it started before the politics stuff. It was just because I wasn't the engineer soundbite anymore. I wasn't my son went to Rutgers and got highest honors, and he moved to North Carolina to work for Corning, North Carolina Beach in North Carolina, to work for Corning, and blah, 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 blah. I was a soundbite to her. That's what I know now. I was a soundbite to her. It was all the work I did with a little help from them. She didn't get in my way, basically, and helped a little bit financially how they could, and I thank them for that all the time. I was thanking them for that. But she didn't get in my way. Boy, was she smart not to. She was really smart not to. So, another homeless dude just rode by. Hopefully he won't come back because he's really annoying. Where's my compassion, Kim? If you thought I was mentally ill, if you, meaning all of you, thought I was mentally ill, why didn't a single person contact me? I was reaching out. I was doing the reaching out. All that stuff on your fucking page. All the thank you for the good thoughts, you know, whatever. Where is it now, Kim? Where is it now? I'm screaming at you. I need compassion. Yeah, I'm sane. I'm completely sane. I'm pissed off at talking about this topic. I've had to avoid this topic for, since my head got unlocked. I've had to focus on survival. That's it. So I've kind of put this out. My caseworker doesn't even know what all this stuff. I'm thinking I'm going to share this with him. though. I mentioned it to him yesterday. Where's my compassion? I was begging for it. I was begging for somebody to answer the fucking phone. Anyone answer the phone. Carol's the only one who did. Until she stopped. Where's my compassion, Kim? It's a bunch of hypocrisy. That's all the meanings are. Bunch of fucking hypocrites. Where's my compassion? Are you going to help? Are you going to show it? You're going to show compassion? You're going to make sure that this gets righted? You're going to challenge Dave. I'll give you all the supporting information you want. I'll give you all the recordings of him and Nancy, his brethren. I've got hours, 15 to 20 hours, 50, at least 15 hours. I've got a private investigator who wouldn't take my money, who essentially said if he really did all that stuff, they'd be firing him, they'd be prosecuting him. Like he was getting all upset, like calling me a liar. Like, dude, the thing I gave you has his text messages of him doing that. I didn't make those text messages up. It's screenshots. I've got all that recorded. You're going to challenge Dave? You're going to challenge Nancy? You're going to make sure this gets righted? You're going to make sure I get my fucking family back? I get another chance with people? That's what I really want. I feel abandoned. I feel lost. And I am trauma bonded. This is trauma bonding, it's called. I'm sane, but for the first time in my life, I have issues. And no, I don't need a therapist about it. I can find myself by talking like this, by journaling. I started journaling just naturally, just to, that's why I write so much now. Started journaling just to purge. It turns out that journaling is, and talking to friends who really listen, and which I did also. Tried to, and then finally got one to listen, and counseling, and there's all these things that are all equally effective. All you need is some way to know that your thoughts are being heard, processed, even if by you sometimes. That's where the journaling comes from. You're processing things. You know, so I don't need a counselor, but I am trauma bonded. Look it up. All you have to do is look up this vulnerable or covert narcissism, wrongly called covert narcissism. Dr. Ramani, R-A-M-A-N-I, Ramani, or Ramani Vasuda, or whatever. I forget what. She goes by Dr. Ramani. Dr. Grande, Grande, is another one. He's much more boring. She is actually a survivor of narcissism multiple times in her life. And she is like one of the experts in it. But yeah, where's my compassion? Hopefully, I mean, I'm going to hear something from somebody at some point, because if I don't hear from you in some sort of weird way, this is going to go out to a bigger audience. It's going to go out to it's going to be on YouTube at some point. But, you know, it'll get to others. Believe me, I've already done a website that they've had to try to have shut down. So that's not why it's shut down. I ran out of money, but I have the domain, and I still have the site. I just need to get it posted. But the few dollars a month it takes, I don't have that. I'm going to get it posted, and everything's going on there. Everything is going to be turned back on. And I turned pages off just because I was scared of the fucking courts, because they were fucking me over. New Jersey doesn't deny any domestic violence things, no matter how fucking insane they are. I know more now, though. Everything's going to get turned back on. This will be part of it. So this is your chance. This is your chance to show the compassion. I've got not a mental illness. I've got a mental issue right now. It's called trauma bonding, caused by your mother-in-law, the mother of my dead brother. Maybe he got fucked in the head too, because he was following around the narcissist his whole life. Steve and her, mainly Steve. He just attached himself to Steve's inner colon or something like that, and lived his life that way. That had to fuck him in the head, whether he got fucked or not. I don't know. Sorry, it was pretty crude, but doesn't matter. My point is that he was probably trauma bonded too, just like me. I'm handling it a little bit more of the same way now. I wasn't when I was stuck, but I am now. I knew what I needed, and I finally got it. How many times can you scream what you need at people? I've never needed my whole life. I borrowed like $11,000 from Nancy and my dad to try to stay out of bankruptcy years ago, which didn't work. I paid that shit right back. Right back. The bailouts they gave me, yeah, okay, yeah. Put up a little money that you get right back, like hundreds or $1,000, or like at most. Did they get back? I didn't get actual bailouts. Nobody showed up to the Maryland, detention facility, which is the only place I was held the second time, which was due to the first misdiagnosis of my life, which was the Xanax addiction, Xanax and alcohol addiction due to the SSRI that I shouldn't have been on. Yeah. Prescribed drugs is what's fucked me up. Oh yeah, one last thing. Nancy has no clue what drugs are. She doesn't know what they do. I don't think Dave does either. Either that, or he's even more evil than I thought. I was, for the reconsideration hearing, where I had to have his ass kicked off, I stayed up all night, not on drugs, just working, preparing, and it was scheduled for like 8:30 in the morning or whatever, a Zoom meeting. So sitting on my couch, with the computer in front of me like this, after being up all night working on incredibly emotional stuff. Well, the hearing didn't end up happening till just about noon, I think. Steve was trying to get in on that too. He was going to be a support witness, which apparently they don't do. And I had everything I needed, but not that it mattered. But I was texting with him, saying that if he got in, which he never did, something happened with the Zoom link. If he got in, I wasn't there when they started it, to make sure he called me, because I had to set an alarm, a recurring timer for every 5 minutes, because I was sitting there staring at the screen waiting for it to do something for 4 hours. And for 4 hours, I was ding up. In fact, you can hear it I forgot that when it finally did come on, I forgot to kill the timer. And the judge got in, and he didn't say anything, but he got annoyed when the alarm went off. So you can hear it in the recording. And you can have text messages with Steve. He's like, "Girl, you better stay awake." Or sis, or whatever he called me. He said, "You better stay awake. Well, call me if I'm not in there, or if I'm asleep. If it turns on and I'm asleep, call me, wake me up, do something." Every 5 minutes. You know what that does to somebody? Go ahead and try that sometime for 3-4 hours. Well, so it finally turns on. She's like, I think at the end of it, she's like, "Look, Judge, look, I can't tell for sure that he's on drugs or he's on something, but that's not him. That doesn't look like him." Now, the only drug that she is aware of that I had done in recent time, other than a little bit of pot or something like that, was crystal meth. Now, how me falling asleep, looking like I'm going to fall asleep, I'm almost slurring my words because I'm so just out of it from those constant alarms going off. I mean, I know what I sounded like. It wasn't due to drugs. It certainly was not due to crystal meth. Dave was right there next to her. Like, if he knows a goddamn thing about it, bouncing around all over the place. Yeah, if I was doing that, she might. I mean, I'm as sober as you could possibly be right now, and still see how animated I get. My jaw's all tight, and okay. And this is pretty calm for this target. I'm trying to stay for this topic. I'm trying to stay calm because I'm in public right now. But you should hear some of the things with the cops, me screaming at them. Where's my compassion? Oh, so close to drug thing. She has no fucking clue what it is. She's scared of what she got a restraining order because she's scared. She admitted this. She's scared of what I might do that I've never done. How often in this country do we restrict people because you're scared of what they might do that they've never done before? Like me, what? Being violent? She's scared of what I might do. What? Keep exposing her narcissistic ass? Her fat narcissistic ass? Yeah. Right. Well, that did continue to happen. And now it's your turn, Kim. Compassion, right? Compassion, caring, support. You are loved. Right? You're loved. Don't suffer in silence. I don't know how many buzz phrases I saw in that thing. Where were they for the last 4 fucking years, Kim? From any of you. Where are they now? That's all I care about. I want my fucking family back. I want my fucking family back. Not Dave. Not Amy. Not Nancy. I want the rest of them back. I want to feel like there's some sort of support network around me, even if it's just a talk. Fix it, Kim. I expect to hear from you soon.